Hey, Rainbow here, and welcome to my channel. I am about to head out tomorrow, late morning, early afternoon, and go from north of Miami, about 45 minutes north of Miami. I'm in Palm Beach County, and I am going to head to Austin, Texas, going to the MotoGP race at Circuit of the Americas on the Ducati Multistrada V4S. But before I take this, I want to go over the bike one more time and make sure that everything is set up and everything is good to go. Bolts are tight, tire pressure is good, all that stuff. Let's talk about that. So the rear tire, I normally run when I'm by myself around 36 pounds, 36 and a half. That's what's recommended from Ducati when it's just a rider only. But when you have passengers and or bags or even a top case, they recommend 42. It's just gonna be me and some baggage. So I'm gonna set this rear tire pressure to 40 PSI, and this is a brand new Michelin Road 6. So we're gonna set this rear pressure to 40 PSI. Now for my front tire, a little bit different. It doesn't matter what type of, whether you're solo or have a passenger, it's always wants it to be literally 34.9. So I always set this to 35 PSI for my front tire. So we're gonna maintain this at 35 PSI. And of course, one of the most important things is checking your chain tension. Now I just put this rear wheel on. I don't even have to put the gauge on it. This feels to me about perfect. All right, the bike is nice and level. It's on a center stand, so now I'm gonna check the oil level. This oil was only changed about 2,000 miles ago, so I am in good shape and it's at a great level. And since this slip-on is brand new and it's been run for about 2 weeks, time to just double check the connections and make sure that everything is nice and tight. When I had the wheel off, I was able to get a good look at the brake pads for the rear brake, and as you can see, they're looking in good shape. And for those who look and you see on my old video, I just changed my brake pads on the front, so these are in fantastic shape. The only thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna check the torque on these bolts that mount it one more time, since this is the first trip I'm taking since I've changed them. Well, my clutch reservoir looks good. It's to the max line, so I don't have to add any brake fluid to my clutch. And I'm looking pretty darn good on my front brake. It's very close to the max line, well above the minimum, so I'm not gonna add anything else to it. Now, the rear brake reservoir, however, I'm gonna add a little bit of .4. And it's time to add some plexus to some of the key areas, like the windscreen, the headlights, the front turn signals, the rear brake lights, and of course, the rear blinkers. But let's not forget the TFT, or that thing right there, which is my GPS. Well, while I'm at it, I'll do the mirrors too. Now, I like to have a camera on at all times, so I'm not gonna have it on my helmet the entire time. That's just too much stress on your neck, so I'm gonna set this up right now. Okay, so now we have this set up. We have a tie strapped here with a little bit of a loop, and there's enough slack in it to go to external power. And it gives enough so that no matter where I'm at, we have enough play. All right, now it's time to start setting up for the Kriega 30 liter, and we'll start getting that set up right here. There's a video that I did on this whole setup for Kriega. I think you should look at it. Well, one of the things that I've learned about traveling and overnight is that I didn't really like breaking these down and taking them off every night just so that someone didn't steal them. I don't know. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tie strap these into place to make it more difficult. So this way, if someone wants to be an asshole, at least I know that they're going out of their way to be one. So there we go. They are just nothing more than a deterrent or to slow someone down. All right, another thing, since these do leak, they are not waterproof. There is a seal in here, it's a rubber gasket. All right, it shouldn't leak, but somehow, and I'm assuming it probably gets in somewhere over in here through this little section, all right? Because of that, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pack everything into these Kriega bags that are waterproof, and then I'm gonna put them inside of my panniers. Now, so that I could sleep at night, one of the things I'm going to do with the bike is hopefully park it somewhere with good lighting, and wherever I stay, just ask that I be able to, have them keep an eye on the bike with the night shift if it's a hotel or whatever. But I'm going to do three things. Number one, I'm going to lock the handlebars the way you're allowed to do. If in Europe, you just press the button here. We have the twist one, so I can lock the handlebars in place. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add this for my front disc. I'm going to lock the disc out. And thirdly, somewhere hidden on the bike is a mini moto, so that if someone, literally if you go like this with the bike and you just move it a little bit, my phone goes off. So hopefully with those three items, I will actually be able to sleep and not get up and look out the window every 2 seconds. The weather should be pretty consistent, so I'm just going to take 2 pair of my lightweight Rocket gloves. Because of the heated grips, I found out it can go down into the 50s, and with the heated grips with these, I am perfectly fine on the highway. It's 82 miles an hour or so, no problems. Now I'm going to be taking a pair of riding pants that are waterproof, but they're hot even though there's vents in them. But I'm primarily going to be wearing motorcycle jeans for the majority of the trip, unless it's going to rain. Now, this Reacts is a liner. This is going to be for my jacket. I have a jacket that is fully vented. It's all mesh, so it keeps me nice and cool. But if it starts to rain, I'm just going to put this inner liner in because I'm trying to travel as light as possible. So I'm going to be going with this helmet. It has a spot for my COTA, which is charging right now. So obviously I'm going to take the charging cord for it. If need be, if it gets bad weather, I can take the GoPro, completely seal it, and then put it on my chin mount. And then of course, when it gets dark, I'm going to take this clear visor with me, in addition to this one right here. And I'm going to put the pin lock in it so that I have the pin lock in case the temperature drops and I start getting some fogging. Now, of course, the rest of it's up to you what you want to pack. I'm going to take 1 pair of waterproof boots, kind of like combat boots that, zip up. I'm not going to take riding boots, I don't think, because this is too much stuff to pack. And then I'm also going to take probably a pair of sneakers, or whatever you want to call them, tennis shoes or hiking shoes, something like that, for when I'm walking around at COTA. So that's about it. But whatever else you want to pack, whatever else you want to do, this is what I'm doing in preparation. Oh, we didn't talk about tools, did we? So hold on a minute. And of course, a very, very lightweight kit, because you know what? It's a newer bike, it's under warranty, and I shouldn't really have to do much with it. And I'm not going to be able to, adjust my chain. So I'm not going to be taking a big 36 millimeter 12 point, with me and all that stuff. If something happens where I need to have it adjusted, I can just go to a local shop or somewhere and have somebody help me out. But, any kind of screwdriver with head, there's all kind of stuff in here. A nice little set of, I call them channel locks, but they do a whole bunch of different sizes. Sarah needle nose with a set of cutters, some Torx, some hex heads, and some ties. And that's really about it. There is already an emergency tire kit, but again, if something happens, I'm gonna call Ducati roadside assistance, okay? So I just need some minimums here, and I don't wanna have a whole ton of weight. So this is what I'll be carrying in my emergency kit. Oh yeah, and a digital tire gauge, because I don't trust the places that you stop to... Okay, so that's it for real. That's pretty much about it, other than clothing and of course, the electronics I'm going to have with me, my phone, charging cords, charging cables, and so on and so forth, and stuff like that. That's it. I want to travel relatively light, a couple pair of underwear, a couple pair of socks. If I get wet, I get wet. It is what it is. But anyway, if you have a better idea, if you have an idea, if you want something that you think I should be carrying for this 1,300-mile trip, let me know, all right? Please comment below. This is Rainbow. Like and subscribe. Thank you so much, and have a good day. We'll see you guys out at Austin. Hope I run into a bunch of people in Texas. Take care. Texas.